Afẹ́fẹ́ kúfẹ́ bẹ́gí nation. How are you? She. Somebody say I'll spend 1 minute laughing. But something one gas to laugh, because if you don't laugh, you end up crying. And if you keep crying, you know where it might end up in now. It might end up in sickness. But anyway, Sahara Reporters is out here reporting Vice President Shettima, definitely not my vice president, begs world leaders at the United Nations Assembly to lift debt burden on Nigeria, other developing nations. Really? You live large, you waste money, you have no money, your elected officials, public officials, appointed officials, and they earn more than people who are in countries where they have times 1,000 the wealth that you have. And then you come here, they give you these loans, they never see what you do with it, the things you say you're going to do with it, they never done, or it's inflated one way or the other. And then now you sit down with a sense of entitlement, with all sense of all manner of audaciousness to ask them to, do debt forgiving. Really? And you keep borrowing, and you keep chopping it, and you keep doing anyhow with it. Let me just go back. He said he made the call during the general debate at the 79th United Nations General Assembly UNGA in New York, the United States. Nigerian Vice President, definitely not my president, Kashim Shettima, who is standing in for Bola Tinubu at the 79th United Nations General Assembly UNGA in New York, has urged global leaders to prioritize debt forgiveness for Nigeria and other developing nations. He made the call during the general debate at the 79th United Nations General Assembly UNGA in New York, the United States. Addressing world leaders, Shettima emphasized that the economic development of the global south remains hampered by crippling debt, which undermines the ability of nations to meet the needs of their citizens. Yes, you're still collecting more debt. They don't know what you're doing with this debt. A lot of inflated contracts. Right now, with the 2025 budget, there is a lot of insertion into different places. We've come to a place where we are using 100 and something million naira to do borehole, 100 and something, almost 200 million naira to do street lights. Street lights that if an private individual was going to do it, it wouldn't cost much than 600,000. Yet almost 200 million is being budgeted for this. And you also see situation whereby a lot of places, organizations that have no business with certain projects are being given, those projects to do, just to insert monies into different things. And you're sitting there and you think that these people don't have work, or they don't respect their taxpayers, that they will not come and be forgiving you. Okay. He urged the United Nations to commit to multilateralism by fostering inclusivity, equality, and deeper cooperation among member states. In a statement from Stanley Kocha, the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Communications, the Nigerian presidency also addressed trade barriers, definitely not my president, protectionist policies, and fierce competition that threaten global investment. Countries of the global south, it said, cannot make meaningful economic progress without special concessions and a review of their current debt burden. Our debt was forgiven. Guess what? Nigerian, leaders came in and did increase the debt, waste recklessly, in short, out of outrageous cost of governance and all of that, and you're coming back again looking for your debt to be forgiven. I laugh in 3G. He also called for the recovery of proceeds of corruption and illicit financial flows, stating that the return of such funds to countries of origin is a fundamental principle of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Therefore, the international community must promote practical measures to strengthen international cooperation to recover and return stolen assets, and to eradicate safe havens to facilitate illicit flows of funds from developing countries to the developed economies. He added, today, These pillars of our organizations are threatened. They risk being broken by the relentless pursuit of individual national priorities rather than the collective needs of the nations that are assembled here today. This one, you carry Bambiala mentality to national, to hunger, to United Nations General Assembly. While commitment to multilateralism offers us the surest guarantee of global action to address the existential challenges we face, singularity and nationalism are undermining the aspirants towards a peaceful and collective resolution of such challenges. From last year's summits, and indeed from the previous years, we have carried over the numerous challenges of terrorism and conflict, inequality, poverty, racial discrimination, human rights abuses, food crisis, hunger, irregular migration, piracy, global pandemics, hyperinflation, nuclear proliferation, grinding debt burden, climate change, and a host of other vexations. The continued manifestation of these challenges, he said, testifies to our failings rather than to any lofty achievements on our part. Billions of dollars are being committed to the prosecution of wars and the fanning of the embers of conflict, he said. Sometimes when you hear these people speak, you just want to look for cane and flog sense into their head. Because I don't understand all this long speech and big grammar for what? As in Bambiala, begging. What have you even solved? Have you even made any commitment towards solving the reasons why these problems are there? No, it's just to sit down and go and meet people and tell them that if you forgive your debts. Meanwhile, you're always busy borrowing more and more and more, spending recklessly, putting in projects that have no meaning, that have no value to the people, turning projects into conduit pipes, outrageous inflation of cost of contract, and then you sit down and you're reading all of these speeches to who? Well, I don't blame him anyway. I actually blame those people that continue to still give Nigerian loans without them seeing the real result of what is done. Sometimes I wonder, is it deliberate or is it something being done to keep Nigerians down? For this kind of leaders, or are they really leaders? They are rulers, especially the ones that rig themselves into office, who are just there not for the benefit of the people, but for their own, selfish benefit. We'll continue to talk about these things. We're not going to go anywhere. No retreat, no surrender. And I say to you also, occupy your office of the citizen and make demands. Thank you.